We live in a world woven by invisible signals, your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, the GPS guiding your every move. What if I told you the fundamental principle behind it all, this ubiquitous magic, was born in the dazzling, deceptive mind of a Hollywood movie star? Not some anonymous lab coat, a screen siren. A woman whose beauty was so legendary, it was used to blind you to her true genius. Hedy Lamarr. The name evokes glamour, scandal, silver screen mystique. But what the files don't tell you is that behind the flawless facade, Hedy Lamarr was fighting a different war. A war of ideas, a war against tyranny. And she almost single-handedly gave the Allies a secret weapon that could have changed World War II. Yet her story, her true story, was buried. Why? Tonight, we expose the shocking truth, the genius Hollywood tried to erase, the untold saga of Hedy Lamarr, the woman who literally invented the future, and how her radical invention, dismissed by generals, now powers your everyday life. Prepare to question everything. Born Hedwig Kiesler in Austria, Hedy's early life was far from the Hollywood dream. She was a child prodigy, dismantling and reassembling radios, a mind buzzing with electrical curiosity. But her entry into film, and a disastrous marriage to an Austrian arms manufacturer, exposed her to a darker world. Dinners with Hitler, Mussolini, and the intricate details of military technology. She absorbed it all. By the outbreak of Voodoo, Lamarr was in Hollywood, a star. But she felt a profound helplessness. The Nazi U-boat menace was crushing Allied shipping. Torpedoes, guided by radio signals, were devastating. And that's when a radical idea sparked in her mind. What if the guidance signal couldn't be jammed? What if it could vanish and reappear like a ghost? What if the guidance signal couldn't be jammed? What if it could vanish and reappear like a ghost? She found an unlikely collaborator in George Antheil, an avant-garde composer who synchronized player pianos. Together, this unlikely duo, the glamorous actress and the musical maverick, conceived frequency hopping, a system where a radio signal would rapidly jump between different frequencies in a coordinated, predetermined pattern. Imagine two people speaking, but constantly changing the channel they're on, in sync. Unjammable, undetectable, a marvel. In 1942, they patented their secret communication system. It was brilliant. It was revolutionary. It was exactly what the Allied war effort desperately needed. But here's where the story takes a turn Hollywood, and even the Pentagon, preferred to keep silent. The patent was granted. They even donated it to the US Navy. Surely this would be deployed immediately, turning the tide against the U-boats, saving countless lives. The official narrative suggests it was too complex, too ahead of its time for wartime production. A noble but ultimately unused contribution from a well-meaning star. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the lie, the convenient fiction. The truth is far more insidious. The Navy did receive it, they did examine it, but they shelved it. Not because it was too complex, but because it came from her, a woman, a movie star. The casual dismissal, the intellectual snobbery, was a calculated suppression. They wanted their stars to sell war bonds, not invent tactical breakthroughs. They told her to stick to entertaining. They shelved it, not because it was too complex, but because it came from her. The technology was effectively classified by neglect, allowed to languish for years after the war, collecting dust in a vault of forgotten genius. Decades passed. Hedy Lamarr's star faded, her personal life fraught with difficulties, her mental brilliance largely unrecognized. But the idea, the sheer power of frequency hopping, refused to die. In the 1950s, engineers rediscovered the patent, unencumbered by the stigma of its origins. They started to see its true potential, and slowly, quietly, Lamarr's secret communication system began its stealthy ascent. Because what these engineers realized, what the W2 Navy brass couldn't or wouldn't see, was that Hedy Lamarr hadn't just invented an unjammable torpedo guidance system. She had invented the foundational principle for nearly all secure, short-range wireless communication. Let that sink in. The very mechanism that allows your phone to connect to your Wi-Fi, that powers your Bluetooth headphones, that ensures the accuracy of your GPS when you navigate a new city, it's all directly descended from the mind of Hedy Lamarr and her forgotten patent. This wasn't just a wartime curiosity, it was a blueprint for the 21st century, delivered by a woman dismissed as mere window dressing. She died in 2000, largely uncredited for creating the wireless world she couldn't have even imagined when she filed that patent. Her story isn't just about a star's hidden brilliance. It's a chilling reminder of how genius, especially female genius, can be overlooked, undervalued, and even deliberately suppressed by institutions that prefer convenient narratives over uncomfortable truths. It makes you wonder, what other profound discoveries, from marginalized voices, are still collecting dust in forgotten archives? The files stop there. The full extent of her contribution, and the reasons for its prolonged obscurity, remain a topic of debate. It's up to us to find what they buried. What other invisible threads connect the past to our present? What have you seen, heard, or uncovered that challenges the official story? Share your findings below. The truth is out there, waiting for us to connect the signals.